Hey, everybody.
Hey. It's
Hello.
Friday.
Whoop,
Y'all
whoop.
make some noise. It's Friday.
Woo!
It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Victory Talk. We are so excited to have everybody in the house with us tonight. I am here with my sisters. Y'all already know how we do. Sissy from another Missy. We got Mama Sugar in the house. We got
Woo!
Sissy Lisa. I don't know. All right, I'm the baby of the bunch. So I AKA spoiled brat. I wear it well. So I don't know how these two put up with me. Well, these three put up with me actually, because the other one, they don't have no choice.
Listen. We don't have to do nothing. We are sitting back and we are watching God work. Because he just do what he want with you.
Absolutely.
We ain't
Absolutely.
got, you can be the spoiled sister. You stomp your feet. You pout. You do all kinds of stuff. We ain't got to say nothing.
You know what? And you absolutely right. And I just don't seem to learn my lesson. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the
But that's
problem is.
okay. You keep on being you. Because as long as he on your street,
You know what? See, y'all see how they do me. That's why y'all put up with me, because you're taking them shots. Yeah,
I
y'all take
believe.
y'all over there bobbing and weaving while I'm catching all that work.
See, it's you know what it is. We're seasoned, and so we done learn how just to take our medicine and just keep our mouth shut. You ain't learned that yet. See, you still in that little system mode.
Uh-huh.
Really not. And look, I feel like I don't know if I ain't got it together by now. Lord knows. Fix it, Lord. But yeah, we want to welcome everybody to Victory Talk. Y'all already know how we do. And it is hot topics. So we are about to get it on and popping. We are missing our sissy Erica. She got held up on the job, so she was unable to join us tonight. But don't y'all worry, because she will be back again. Okay. Um, all right, y'all. So, first off, how's everybody's week been going? Everybody good? I know this weather. Like, I went outside at like 5 o'clock, and it felt like spring. It was like
Mm-hmm.
75 degrees out there,
Wait till
leaves and
tomorrow.
all, but it was warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know. Is that a sign of snowstorms? Because it's
They said it's a fair warning. It means that we're going to have a pretty harsh one. So we'll see. And wait to
oh,
see what God does.
Lady J. So that ain't my fault. I ain't say it this time.
You and your mama.
We both on the list.
Y'all know I don't like snow. I don't like
I
snow.
like it. I
But
like to watch it. I'm not going to be in it, but I like to watch it.
that part. That part,
Like
yes.
ice, but I do like snow, and I feel like, long as I got my food and God willing nobody loses power, so we have heat, then I'm good with the snow. You
Yeah.
can just snow
And
me
I don't
right
have to
over
shovel.
here.
And you don't have
Oh
to
yeah,
show.
Yes.
that part too. Yes, indeed.
So before we get started, I gotta give a shout out. I see our son PJ is on with us. Hey PJ, new
Hi,
daddy.
PJ.
Hey, and he just
Congratulations!
yes, congratulations. So y'all
Congratulations!
see our newest grandbaby. This is grandbaby number
Oh,
5. Can y'all see her?
Yes,
wow.
hi,
Oh,
baby.
Yeah, she is cute. She is so cute. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to see her next year. I cannot wait. So, congratulations,
oh.
PJ. Enjoy. But you know what, son? Get your rest when you can get your rest.
Yes.
Oh
Get
yeah,
that rest when you can get that rest.
most
So,
definitely.
yeah. So, and anybody else got anything else? Because I know it's just been an eventful week. We got our
I
own
don't know.
personal hot topics in our own world.
Is it too? Is it too soon to say I'm ready for 2023? You know how when it get close to the end of the year, we be just wanting the rest of this year to be done. I don't have any, major complaints, but I mean, I guess for obvious reasons why I like New Year's. I mean, just you know. But I'm just looking forward to, the new year. But I'm excited about the holidays coming up. Y'all know Christmas is my favorite, so and my husband be side eyeing me when I start to pull out the decorations before Thanksgiving. I don't know. We might get
Don't blame him.
this year because I'm ready.
Christmas
I'm ready.
decorations.
And
People got up
made a
Christmas
post on
decorations
Facebook.
already.
I was gonna say somebody made a post on Facebook that actually was a good point though. I think my neighbor posted and she said Thanksgiving is a day, but Christmas is a season. So that's why we tend to, want to start Christmas early and have it just carry us throughout to the end of the year. So
That's
that's a good way to put
that's
it. And that's gonna be the way that I explain it to him when I'm putting up my decorations next week.
And it's so much work to get those decorations up there and looking good. You don't want to be all, you know,
Right.
willy
It
nilly.
is a lot of work to put
Yeah.
them up and take them back down. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
yes you are. You say that every
No,
year.
I'm
Yes you
saying
are.
I'm not putting them up and taking them right back down. They gonna stay up for a good month at
Oh.
Just
least.
don't leave them up to February.
Uh, No, because actually I was taking too long last year. Normally, like after the new year, maybe the second or the third, but apparently I was taking too long last year. I came home from work and like all my stuff was down. All my stuff was down. I'm like,
You didn't have to ask him to take it down. You ain't had to throw no hints. You ain't had to say nothing.
none
Oh,
of
you did it.
that. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to keep that same energy when I ask you to do something. When I ask you to do something. All right, y'all. We go get into it. Hey, Miss Jackie, everybody. Oh yeah, everybody who's tuning in, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're chiming in from, make sure you say hey to us in the comments so that we know that you're there. And we're real interactive. So as we go through talking about these topics, go ahead and chime on in, and we will make sure to read your responses. So we got some good stuff tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Um, our first topic. So this one is deep. This one is deep. A father says his 14-year-old son steals cars and faces no serious consequences. So this is a story right here from Baltimore. And a Baltimore father who goes by the name of Santiago, he didn't want to use his last name. He came to Fox 45 News to share the story of his 14-year-old son going wild. He says he started breaking into cars, stealing cigarettes and chains, stealing cars and running from the police. And he's not even old to drive, but he is now on a carjacking and car theft crime spree, spanning from Baltimore to D.C., according to his dad. So on charging documents, he's stolen two cars. He had a high speed chase. He nearly took the lives of two police officers that were trying to stop him. And the father believes that this is exactly what's fueling the juvenile crime in Baltimore, because his son has been arrested several times, but nothing is seeming to stick. He's never facing serious consequences. So he says it's not just about his son, but of all the Baltimore City's kids, and it's about juvenile delinquents. He says for his 14-year-old, all but one of the 19 charges he faced were dropped, and the remaining charge only carried probation. He says he was threatened when he tried to teach his son a lesson. And then he actually got a call from the Frederick and Calvert County police telling them that they had the son in custody. And, he's basically saying he wanted them to keep the son. He's trying to save his life, and so he wanted them to keep the son. And they told him that he needs to come get him, or they're going to be coming after him for neglect and abandonment.
Oh, wow.
So the dad is basically saying he wants his son to get some help, even if it's jail, then whatever it is. He said he also thinks that his son needs some mental help. And it's just an unfortunate situation. The father and family are now facing restitution fines for the crimes that the son is committing. and they're taking a heavy financial toll on his family. Now, at the point of us researching, there was a GoFundMe page up, but it has since been taken down. So I guess maybe they felt like it didn't meet, the rules or whatever, for the GoFundMe page. So we want to know, y'all, what would you do if you were in his father's shoes? Because I mean, this is really a tough one, and this is not the first story that we've heard that is like this one.
Wow.
I feel.
I'm just going to take my chances with the law. So my son he gonna get it. He gonna feel it because now he's messing with the family money. It's not just you're going around doing stuff. You're going around doing stuff, and they're finding us, and we're saying, okay, he's committing crime, treat him like a criminal, and then you're threatening to throw me in jail. And then if I try to discipline him myself, so I'm just going to take my chances with the discipline.
Yeah.
So when you say, take your chances with discipline, what do you mean? Like,
I want to hurt him badly. I'm going to restore the fear he should have had before he took the first car.
I feel bad for the parent. I feel bad for the father because it sounds like he is trying to get help. And juvenile justice system, the law is just telling him, listen, we're not going to do nothing about it. It's a slap on the wrist. Wait until he done took a life.
Mm-hmm.
Which he almost did, and I mean, by almost running over the book like that.
That in itself should have gotten him some charges that stuck. I'm floored with that.
Me too, and that was going to be, my comment. I remember before there was a mom that was on the news, in a similar situation. And she was crying out for help. She's like, look, y'all don't want to keep him. You want to keep, giving him a slap on the wrist, sending him home. I'm asking y'all to keep him. Like, help me. And, like you said, it's almost like they have to do something drastic. And then at that point, I mean, I don't want to ever say it's too late, but I mean, if somebody's life gets taken or almost taken, like they're going under the jail.
Right.
We've seen what's been happening to these the squeegee kid. I mean, they're charging him with all kinds of adult charges.
Right.
So I just don't understand why they can't be proactive in the situations with these kids. I mean, it'd be different if the parent was just not doing anything,
right.
Like letting them run wild and all the things, but clearly he's crying out for help, and it sounds like he really can't even, do anything with the kid. He said when he tried to do something, he was threatened. So there's probably a fear factor as far as that's concerned. And it's like, I mean,
I wonder if it's a case where you waited too long to do something with the kid, because as you're bringing them up, if you think that everything that they do is cute and all of these things that they be doing and saying and carrying on, that some of these parents, and they're not paying attention to the kids and they just basically raising themselves. But then when they get teenagers and adults, you want to be disciplining them and trying to get them back in line. And sometimes, unfortunately, by then it's too late. They don't have a fear for anything. They're not afraid of you. They're not afraid of the law. They're not afraid of going to jail or dying or any of these things. So, I mean,
I'm not familiar with the story, but I have to ask this because, reality is it's different for us.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences and repercussions are different for us than they are for our, brethren.
mm-hmm.
lighter brethren. So my question is, is he Caucasian? We know the squeegee boy is African American. And
I
so he
think
catching all
he's
the work.
Hispanic.
So he's
I think he's
Hispanic.
Hispanic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, by the last name, it sounds like he may be Hispanic.
So they probably just setting him up for failure because after a while, when the time comes, I mean, because what he does now, the records get sealed. They don't stop him from getting a good job or scholarships and different things like that.
Until he take a
But
life.
when
Until he
he
take a
gets,
life.
or he gets a little bit older, where they really can now say, we can charge you as an adult.
Yeah.
Because see, we want them to charge our children as children and get them the help because you'll get resources. You'll have like mentorship programs, therapy, counseling for the family as well as for the individual because that's what the other folks get. But for us, it's like, when we ready to give it to you, now you're going to be amongst killers and thieves and
Mm-hmm.
grown adults. And we're going to give you long sentences so that way it will impact you and your culture. So, yeah, yeah.
Really sad.
Yeah, and so I just looked it up, and the let me see if y'all can see this picture. They actually have a picture posted, of the kid smoking. The dad is, in the car with his mask or whatever, and he's slamming prosecutors because he's saying, he was warned that he would be charged with neglect if he didn't collect him from jail,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just not. They're just not doing anything. The kid is getting progressively worse, and he can't even put him out.
No.
No.
Right.
You
Not
know,
at
so
14. Mm-mm.
it's just
And then if he stopped going to school, they can slap fines on him for that.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go to the juvenile court system, they don't talk to the parents. They're almost like they are adults. They get to advocate for themselves, however, and talk with the attorneys. Most of the time, they try to separate the parents so you can't advocate for your child in front of the master, which is really crazy.
Well,
yeah.
unless they have a parent, relative, like way deep down on a farm where they can send him, I would have to lay hands because, mm-mm.
Because I'm
What else
trying
are
to
you gonna
figure out,
do?
is there not, still like, I don't know if it's called that, but is there not like group homes or, it just seems like the court system would intervene, some kind of way, like send him, even if I'm not saying, send the young man to like to prison or adult jail or anything, but I know Baltimore County has programs where they have the boys come in, they do community service stuff, they
Mm-hmm.
they mentor them, they have them just do all kinds of to try to redirect them and get them back on the right path before things escalate any further. But maybe this is just another case of Baltimore City failing the youth
Again. Mm-hmm.
again.
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 And they're in Baltimore City.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just really
What bothers me
unfortunate.
is that they're not going to really do anything until it's, it has taken a life. Somebody is badly beaten. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be
Yeah,
Right.
something traumatic that's going to, have to take place before somebody intervenes. And that's what the father is trying to keep from happening.
Yeah.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
with that said, can you imagine the lawsuits that are going to come against Baltimore City when something happens?
I hope they do. I mean, I don't hope nothing happens, but I really do hope they do sue the city
Yeah.
because this is crazy.
And the crazy part about it is this is like a vicious cycle. Like you do these things and then you have to pay these families, but then you cry that you're broke and you don't have money to do these things, but you're making foolish mistakes and you're not the things that you can control or help out a little bit, you're not. But then you're saying, oh, there's funding here. We can't afford to fix the schools, the air conditioning, the supplies, the books, the roads, everything that's just wrong. in general, you don't have any money to fix, but you're shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars every year paying off these families when you get sued. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
make it make sense,
Yeah.
somebody, because
Wow.
Yeah.
so my heart goes out, to this dad. It really does, because being a parent, and um just me trying to, in my mind, put myself in his shoes. It's just like, I can't even tell y'all what I would do. And I have seen situation, and I hear what Mama Sugar is saying. Sometimes it is the parents that let things go too long and too far, and then it's too late. But I've also seen the flip side of things, where the parents raise the kids the best that they can. They're present, they do all the things, and the kids still want to be out in the street. They still want to be tough. They still want to, be hard, and sell drugs and do all of these things. And they're kind of, the end result is the same. Like,
Right.
what do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Whew.
Just gonna have to keep on praying. Just, I mean, like,
Yes,
really keep on praying for people, because the seen and the
Yes.
unseen, because who knows? It could be one of us driving in the vicinity, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Of
Yeah.
But I don't even want to think like that. But, all right, y'all. All right. This
Boy.
next topic, again, as we are talking kind of about driving and accidents, this next topic is a nightmare. Maryland family grappling with insurance and the driver who hit the father of five. The last 4 months have produced a lot of sleepless nights for Georgina Garcia, ever since her husband Carlos was taken to the hospital, where he still is fighting for his life. In June, he was driving on Maryland State Highway 100 near I-95 when his car died. One driver who hit him is cooperating with the police officers, but they're still searching for the other driver who did not stay at the scene. He suffered several broken bones as well as brain injuries, and is still using a feeding tube. He recently woke up out of the coma not too long ago. He doesn't remember who he is or even recognize any of his family.
Oh, wow.
The doctors say that because of the trauma from the accident, it's going to take a while for his brain to start functioning well, or it might not ever come back. Garcia provided 7 News with a itemized bill from the hospital revealing costs exceeding $150,000. Though she said the additional cost puts her closer to the additional cost puts her closer to 500,000. Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
$500,000. He also needs to go to the rehab center for speech therapy and to relearn how to walk and feed himself. That is expected to be another cost of about $95,000 for 25 days. So far, insurance has not paid for any hospital costs and told Garcia they could only pay for a small portion of the rehab costs. Garcia is grappling with the insurance because they still need Vanilla's account of what happened at the time of the crash. They're still waiting for my husband to tell his side of the story. But at this point, there's no way that he can do that if he doesn't even recognize them. Garcia says it's going to be a long process with the insurance. It really is going to be a long process
Yeah.
with the insurance.
They're gonna drag it.
Oh, yeah. This continued search for the fleeing driver comes as Maryland's new move over law goes into effect. The state had a move over law that required drivers to slow down or change lanes for only emergency vehicles on the side of the road. But now the new law, which went into effect October the 1st, now requires this action for all vehicles stopped or stalled on the side of the road if they have their emergency lights on. So my question is, what's your thoughts on this story? What do you think? I mean, we Lisa and I having, worked in the medical field and worked with insurances, we know how long it's going to, take with the insurance company and how they're going to drag it out. They're going to duck and dodge every dime. They're not going to try to pay. They're going to try not to pay not one red cent.
I think that there needs to be something in place for situations like this. I get, the Lord knows, I get how the insurance companies are, and how they operate. But my thought process is that nobody, first of all, that money is never going to be paid if it's going to be expected to be paid by the family, because we're talking, $500,000 like already, with, already, and he's not even recovered yet. But I'm just trying to figure out how there isn't some type of something in place for situations where, because like, they need the other driver to give an account of what happened, or the victim, and he's in a, he's in a coma. Like,
right.
He can't. Right. So I'm like, what in the world is happening?
I don't even know why they need to talk to him, because if he's on the side of the road, that's a given. All he gonna say is, I was on the side of the road and someone hit me.
Right.
Right.
He can actually say that? That is crazy.
Like, clearly it happened.
Like, I wasn't walking, I wasn't driving. I was on the side of the road. But
Yeah.
my recommendations is get a dash cam. Get a dash cam.
So, and my question is, I gotta look back. This happened 5 months ago? About 5 months ago. So it happened prior to the law going in effect. So what are they gonna say, that because the law was not in effect, that there's nothing that they can do about it? I thought if you were in a motor vehicle accident and somebody hit you, they hit you.
Right.
Yeah. And even with the new law being in effect, my issue with that is, okay, that's all fine, well and good that you guys put this law into effect, because we all know that common sense is not common. But this new law is saying, it's requiring drivers to slow down or change lanes if you see a vehicle with emergency lights on. Well, like, if I see somebody with their hazards on, whether they're pulled on the side of the road or driving in front of me, that is automatically going to, they teach you this like in driving school, which everybody has to take now. When you see hazard lights, that means proceed with caution. It's a reason why they blink and they stay on, to alert people that's even, half a mile back. You can see those blinkers. So I'm like, and so many people, oh my gosh, I can't even give y'all numbers, but as I was reading, up on this, it's so many people who, every single day are dying or being, they're really getting hurt, trying to change a tire, pulling over to the side of the road to do whatever, take a phone call, whatever it is that they're doing. And I'm just like trying to figure out what are these, are they distracted? Are people like texting and driving, and that's how you just ramming over, mulling over, running over folks?
They're not focused. They're not paying attention when they're driving is what the problem is. But my issue is with the insurance companies. You pay insurance for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about what happened, who struck John. We pay this premium. You guys said that you're going to insure us. Do your job and do what you're supposed to do. It's not like it's a case where it's a life insurance policy where you're trying to figure out whether the person committed suicide or should you pay or shouldn't you. This is a health situation.
Yeah.
Pay the doctors. How is he going to get help?
Yeah.
So if he had health insurance, like medical insurance, they won't probably pay until they know what's going to happen with the auto insurance, because now it's an auto accident, so the car insurance is primary. But of course, he has his own insurance, but he was the person to get hit. So now it's the other insurance. So they got the insurance of the one guy. So they need the insurance of the other guy, and his insurance is like, hey, we're not going to pay because they're at fault, and everybody's pointing the finger while
Yep.
this guy is basically his wife worrying about whether they're going to be living in a tent someday soon, or eating. It's just like
But at
it's
the end of
crazy.
the day, with the whole car insurance thing, you only have so much coverage, and if that man's bill is big enough for everybody, take your part and pay. I mean,
Right.
That's
it's going to be
facts.
enough for everybody to go around for everybody to pitch in. So
True.
Now,
And
right.
it said that, and I'm sorry, it also said that there were two. I don't know if two people hit him, but one of the drivers pulled over. So I'm guessing like it was two
That's what it
different
sounds
situations.
like.
One of the drivers
Yeah.
pulled over like they were supposed to and gave their report or whatever, but the other driver just kept going, and apparently they haven't caught the person yet. So you already know that person is going to be facing a whole slew of extra stuff at this
I hope he
point for
wasn't
leaving the scene.
Santiago.
Oh goodness! Please let it not be him.
Yes,
This poor family cannot afford
be
that.
baby Santiago. No.
wow.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Sunshine says, they're gonna fight it, talking about the insurance company. She says people still text and drive, and Lisa, you're correct, it's a whole process. So
Wow.
I just pray that, somebody, because, I mean, and I know it was TV or whatever, but I can't remember what movie it was that I saw where this was actually like a life insurance situation, and the person basically told, like the life insurance person snuck and told the person how to get around it so that they could get, their whatever, and the person's like, and they're like, what I'm telling you is that if you do such and such, that's what they need in this situation. They need somebody who is going to. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm on air telling people bend the rules,
It's too
but
late now.
listen, our human side sometimes will not allow us to see somebody in these situations and not
Struggling,
like try
right.
to help out.
Yeah.
Like so, if
It's too
y'all out
late
there
now.
listening, we need a little birdie to drop a jewel to them.
I would tell you, but it's too late now. Because see, my
Oh,
thing was, you get to the emergency room, you have no auto insurance. Yes, the other person hit you, you have no auto insurance. So if he has health insurance, then the health insurance is going to pay. If he doesn't have any health insurance, and say for instance he's an undocumented resident, he'll get charity. So the hospital's going to pay. Then the hospital will buy the bed for the rehab because you can't place him. You have to place him somewhere or he's going to stay in the hospital. So they're going to buy the bed for the rehab, and then there you go. All is well as long as he stay within that hospital. But when you walk in and it's like, yeah, this auto insurance and I have auto insurance, and then your insurance like, oh,
once
someone
they
hit
hear
you.
that.
Yeah, see, yeah, I wasn't there. I would have
All
helped.
right, well, but that's okay. Because listen, anybody out there that's listening, God forbid you're in this situation, but a little birdie just told you.
Don't say
Just
you have
saying,
auto insurance.
there's your little
Because
birdie. It was a
because
bit too
here's the
late
thing,
for.
auto insurance is private, so you can, do your little lawsuit thing off the thing. You can get your records, you can send them to them, and everything will be fine, and your insurance would have paid the bill, and everything would have been okay on that end. And there you go. You can't.
Wow, and that's a daggone shame that it's just little teeny, and most of that's that fine print that they rushing you through signing when you signing up for these policies. That don't worry about that part. That's just saying that no, I need to read this. Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder
listen,
though, how long can he stay in the hospital? I mean, can they deny him medical care? Can they, I don't remember.
No, they're not going to deny him medical care, but the hospital will pay to have him moved to a facility because it will be much cheaper than him staying in the hospital.
Okay.
And then also because then now the hospital has to do the rehab and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be much cheaper for them to buy the bed. And then they're going to get reimbursement back from all the grants they get from the federal government
Yeah.
anyway. So it's not really a loss to them.
But the whole time, the family is steady racking up all of these daggone medical bills. Wow.
And then they will tell him to, the family to apply for Medicaid and all this other stuff because they want to make sure that they can get monies from other places before spending their money.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. On that note, we're gonna keep rolling because it's 7:37 already. All right, you good? We're gonna keep on rolling to our next story, you guys. So, although it's no longer officially October, we know the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This story kind of got dropped in our laps this week, and we absolutely could just not bypass it. This is it's such a sad and unfortunate story, but it's just another one of those things, to help us to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and looking out for, signs and symptoms and the like. So, a California woman with stage 4 breast cancer was denied a mammogram at age 29, and now she'll be fighting forever. So, a woman who is fighting breast cancer years after she's misdiagnosed is sharing a critical message about female health. This is pretty lengthy, but I'm just going to kind of give a quick recap of her story and what's going on with her. She was 29 years old when she first discovered a marble-sized lump in her left breast. She didn't have health insurance, but she was able to get a physical and an ultrasound through an alternative healthcare program. Within 2 weeks, she got the results, and they said it was a benign gunky cyst and told her it was nothing to worry about. Now, this was at the age of 29. She's now 35, and the doctors also informed her that her blood work and BMI was healthy. So because breast cancer wasn't present in her family history, she requested a mammogram at the time and was denied due to age and no family history, which if you guys have, tuned into any of our health shows with our Fit for Life shows, we talk about this, all the time, how the screening starts at a certain age or the insurance, isn't willing to cover it unless you have some type of family history. So this is basically the story of what went on with Felicia. So she said she didn't feel sick or anything, but in 4 to 8 months, the lump grew 8 centimeters. She returned to her clinic and had an emergency mammogram and ultrasound at that time and was informed that she had breast cancer, and that her results were going to a radiologist. Within a week, she underwent 8 biopsies, 4 in her left breast, 2 in her right, and 2 in her underarm. She went to the ER and was told that the reason that she was having trouble breathing was because of all the tumors in both of her lungs. Y'all, she went with a marble-sized cyst. Y'all know what the size of a marble is, and they told her it was nothing. And at this point, she now has stage 4 breast cancer, and it totally metastasized. She was told that she had cancer in both of her lungs, her sternum, her lymph nodes, her armpits, and her breasts. And so, to sum it up, she has now undergone 6 rounds of chemotherapy and is now tumor-free. But she has had to have her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed. She has her uterus and cervix, but those procedures put her into early menopause. And she's basically saying that 99% of the women that she met were diagnosed or misdiagnosed in their early 20s and 30s. She said she met a woman who was 18 years old who was diagnosed. And so basically she's leaving us with this. She wants other women to listen to their bodies. She says there are no boundaries when it comes to your health care. You should be checking yourself the same day every single month to do a full body checkup. Anything that feels abnormal, go be seen. You're not too young. She says if it's not normal, it's not normal. And if you don't like the treatment that you're getting or the way they're taking care of you, you have an absolute right to fire your physician. You don't have to feel bad about disagreeing with your treatment plan. And basically telling people don't give up. You're 100% positive that what is going on with your body, is okay, and then you'll be okay. So we want to talk about this, you guys. And Lady J, you had kind of missed just the beginning of it, but although we are through Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this is a new story that dropped, and we just, we want to know, how does this story make you guys feel, and what could have or should have been done differently? I'm gonna let somebody else go since I just did all that talking.
I don't understand how they could have denied her initially. If she went and she felt like something was wrong, it doesn't matter what age you are or whether you have a history of it or not. That's why you, again, with the insurance thing, that's why you pay insurance. That's why you go to the doctor and have a certain trust and rapport with the doctor that you have. So I don't understand how they can just say, oh, no, you can't have this test because you're not old enough or because there's no history in your family. And circling back on that, what can they do for her at this point? I mean, can she sue them? Or, I mean, not that that's going to make her situation any better.
Right, but still.
You can't be making those types of mistakes when you're, dealing with someone's life. You just can't.
What state she was in? California?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Here in Maryland, I'm going to say there is an error of mistakes, but here in Maryland is usually the baseline is between 35 and 39. So that still would have put her young, not old enough to get it. But when she got the lump and she went to the doctors, they would have immediately sent her for an ultrasound,
right,
which then would probably lead to the mammogram. But usually you get the mammogram and then the ultrasound. Mm-hmm. But the ultrasound gives a better picture of what's going on. I don't know what kind of laws they have in place in California, but here that is usually what happened. But we also know that even the mammogram is not really 100% because we're having women get it and then have a plastic surgery procedure and find out, hey, you have cancer in your pathology report. Mm-hmm. And they like, well, I have my mammogram every year. Like, how was that missed? Mm-hmm. So there's so much error in that as far as health wise. And then so many of us are cystic. We're cystic. We're producing cysts in ovaries and in our breasts. Mercy Hospital is, I'm going to say they're like leading when it comes to breast cancer, because they do the procedure. If there's a cyst or any type of lump, they want to make sure it is a cyst. So they're doing a biopsy of it to be certain without a doubt, whereas though Hopkins is doing an ultrasound, and then you got to come back in 6 months because they're watching and, doing their protocol. So they're kind of different hospitals, different way of trying to do things. Which way is right? I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, wow. I would sue.
Yeah.
I would sue because we need to set an example. We need to make an example. They need to learn. You mentioned something about she was at an alternative medicine place. So I'm thinking that's not a traditional hospital. So, and a lot of us are trying to go to alternative medicines for different things,
Yes.
So it's kind of like, it's her whole life, her young life.
Yes.
It's gone. Now, I didn't know why they kept the cervix and the ovaries it's the cervix and the uterus if they removed the ovaries. I don't know why they would do that. There's no point in having those.
Right. It angers me that in 2022, something like this is still happening when
Yes.
you hear repeatedly, and not just for the month of October.
Mm-hmm.
I get constant reminders, all the time. To have, my feminine, have, even and
Yeah.
even my daughter, she's young, she's in her 30s, whatever, but early 30s, but she's already having them,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
having in and we are living in a society where we're being told the information is out there, and so the information is out there, we're being told, and then we go act on, what we are feeling, what's going on within our bodies, and you shut us down.
Hmm.
Something's not right with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel as though that there should really be some compensation somewhere
Okay.
along the line, because, again, in today's society, and, I'm not all about, sue, 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 because the
Mm-hmm.
Bible teaches us not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, in today's society, people don't understand until you knocking on their pockets.
You're
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right.
Absolutely.
A new
Absolutely.
precedent is not set until someone has something that comes along that causes a new precedent to be set. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel as though that something has to be done. There should be some, some type of recompense for, this situation against her. It should be something. My heart goes out to her. That's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
being an
And it might be
asthmatic and
hard.
knowing when my lungs fill up with fluid or whatever, and I know how I feel, just, but to imagine, mine is just filling with fluid. Imagine having your lungs fill up with those, nodules
Tumors.
and
Tumors.
tumors and, ooh.
So I just, on this, I feel like it's multiple layers, it's multiple different things to unpack. You guys have touched on, most of it. The first point that I want to make is with the age thing, because I have shared before, on this platform that I actually had to fight, to start to get things, earlier. Like Mama Sugar was saying, it shouldn't be really a thing, especially if you feel like something is wrong. But I'm here to tell you guys that if you don't know, the insurance companies have a age range that they go by, and this is for everything. This is for colon checks. This is for mammograms. This is for all the preventative care things that they say. Oh, you people over the age of 50, people over the age of 60, people. I'm still trying to figure out why statistics are showing that even people with no family history of these things need to be screened at an earlier age. Why are we still waiting and making people wait until 50, 55, 60 years old, when by the time it's caught at that point, most of the time it's too late? They're already stage 3, stage 4.
Right.
That's
Mm-hmm.
an issue in itself. Number two, what she was saying, if you feel like something is wrong, then you really need to press it, because I know for me, if I feel something that's off and I go to one doctor and they tell me it's fine, no, I'm getting a 15th opinion if that's what I need to do. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't do that. We don't advocate for ourselves. We don't ask the questions. And really, we should be able to trust that these people are telling us right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went through all of this, schooling and all of the things and all of this knowledge and on the job. We really should be able to trust that what you're saying is right. But I know if this is something that I'm feeling in my body and it wasn't there before, it
Mm-hmm.
is now foreign. And it is now
Yes.
something that
Right.
needs to be addressed. You're not
Right.
just going to tell me, oh, it's nothing, don't worry about it. No, I mean, that's just not. And then thirdly, the facility that she's in, that just speaks to the level of healthcare that we have. Everybody want to be in the U.S. Oh, it's the best place to be. It's the land of the free and the home of the brave. It's so many opportunities. It's all these things. Our system is broken too. It's no
Mm.
way that this young lady went to a facility that is probably like a Kaiser or what's the place on Northern Parkway that's Jai Medical Center. It's probably one of those types of places that's not a actual hospital, but it's it's a facility that takes like Medicare, Medicaid, uninsured people. Y'all need to be operating at the same standard as a Hopkins
Across
or a
the board,
Mercy
yeah.
or I mean, you can't just because people are self-paying or non-paying treat them, like how do you make this mistake? I don't understand how that
I don't
happened.
either.
I really don't. And you're using the same type of screening thing. You're doing the mammogram.
At least
you're
you
doing
should
the
be.
ultrasound. Like, I don't understand why that's a thing. But I agree with everything you guys said too. Like, I feel so bad because reading for time purposes, of course, we can't read the whole entire thing, but this young lady, luckily she was able to harvest some eggs, from her and her spouse. So she's praying that, someday she can be a mom, like be a surrogate. But I mean, somebody else's mistake and your whole life is just changed.
It could have taken her life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she's now stage 4, so even though she's tumor free, as I don't know if you guys recall when we had the breast cancer awareness show before, but once it gets to stage 4 and it metastasizes, like you can live, but it's terminal.
Yeah.
So we gotta do better. Y'all check yourself, and if something is off, please get more than one opinion. Don't just let somebody tell you it's nothing or wait 6 months, because 6 months it could be a death sentence, literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially dealing with cancers and things.
Yes. And nowadays cancer is more and more prevalent. You see it more and more often. I can remember back when I was younger, you didn't really hear about young people, young adults being diagnosed with cancer. You didn't hear a whole lot of it. Now, it's every day.
I was gonna say even pediatric, absolutely.
Yeah, even the animals.
Cats. They test cats for leukemia when you take your little kittens to the vet. So we can't think that we're invincible. But we definitely have to be proactive.
Right.
And I feel like these are the things that we need to talk about, when we do, our marches and our rallies and all the stuff like that. Like, they so busy trying to tell a woman what she can do with her body and controlling abortion. Like, let's talk about this flawed healthcare system.
Yes.
Right.
Let's talk about those things and how to, fix those things.
Again, the healthcare system.
And Sunshine says, it's unfortunate that there's an age stipulation. And I agree because honestly, and I got off tangent when I was talking about that earlier, but I was told by, my GYN doctor that, the insurance might not pay because now, check this out, and I don't even know if everybody knows. They used to do your GYN pap smears. They used to do them every year. They have now changed to 3 to 5 years. Do you know that every year I demand it? And every year when she says, well, you might get a bill because the insurance might deny it, because unless you have a problem, they're not covering it every year. And guess what I tell them? Send me a bill and I'll pay it. I'll pay it. I will pay that $200 to live.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta be kidding me.
It takes them too long.
I'm not no 3 to 5 years. Are you kidding me?
3 to 5 years, you could be gone in one.
Right.
And then they tell you after a certain age that you don't need them at all.
Yes, they sure do. Nope.
Yeah, when I found out about that, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Whew, Lord. Okay. All right.
You're still using it. Make sure they checking it.
Absolutely. Can we get this? Can we get this last one in?
Can we get this next one in? Because this is an interesting one.
Yes. And we've been so heavy. We want to cut up a little bit.
Yeah. So, child support and being asked for extra. There was a story that almost broke the internet. A man is paying $500 a month in child support. The mother of his child asked him to buy their kids some shoes, but the current wife is against it. He feels like he is being asked to choose between his child and his marriage. The wife is adamant about the fact that he is not paying anything extra. What are your thoughts on this, ladies? Is he paying enough per month, or should he pay anything additional that is asked for? What y'all think?
I mean, even if he is paying $500 a month, I would assume that at some point he has visitation with the child. He can just take the child and buy the child a pair of shoes. I
Correct.
mean,
He may not be able to have visitation the way the wife acting.
I'm gonna jump in there real before we get too far and just let y'all know I seen the video, and the wife was when I tell y'all she was going off. She was going off. It was so many beep, 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 beep. The thing was censored so much you could hardly hear. She let him have it. She said, I don't care if it's 50 cents more. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to just give my little 2 cents on it. Being a person who paid child support for a child for many, 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 many years, and being a person who is on the other side, in having to still, Michonne has to pay it for, for his, for our bonus baby. Listen, if the child needs something, get that baby some shoes.
Right.
I mean, I know maybe I'm the wrong person to ask, but I feel like if the child needs something, they need something. And
Right.
unfortunately, we can't control what the parent is doing with the child support, in the other house. But I just think about the child and their needs. And I would not have, my bonus baby going without anything. I don't care if the child support was $1,000 a month. If she needs something, we're gonna get it. This woman was acting a whole fool, y'all. Like and I don't know what's gonna wind up happening with them, because the husband was like, they were going at it back and forth, and he's like, but why can't I? And she was like, this is what you're not gonna do, because
I'm like, dude, go on and leave. Go on and leave. That Jezebel spirit, you do not need. You don't need it, bro. That's a child,
oh
a whole child. And when she married you, knowing you had that baby, and she,
Right.
as a woman,
Absolutely.
should want you to step up and take care of. It has nothing to do with the other woman. If he wanted to be with
Right.
her, then with her. They wouldn't
But
have been her.
you do realize, in her mindset, in that wife's mind, it has
Mhm.
everything to do with the child's mother. Everything. Say what you want, it shouldn't, but it has everything to do with the child's mother. And the whole thing with child support and the outside parent or the custodial parent or whatever, across the board, you cannot manage how the custodial parent spends the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because
But
the
if
law
the-
said you can pay the rent with it.
She can pay the
Yes.
rent with it. She
Mhm.
got to keep a roof
Yeah.
over the child's head.
she can
She
put
put
gas in the
food
car
on
to
the table.
transport the child. Yeah.
But if the
Yeah,
child
she
Pay the
can
needs,
light bills so that the
Right.
lights are on.
Right.
And so increase every couple years.
and can ask, and the wife need to shut up. She need to close her mouth, because truth be told, her income can be pulled into play. So she need to be quiet. Let the man buy the baby some shoes.
Sunshine said the same thing that you said, Lisa. She said, she shouldn't have married him if she has an issue with child support. These things need to be talked about, before marriage, because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
clearly you knew that I don't know too much about the story, so hopefully the child was around, like prior to, but
Right.
'cause that might
That part.
that might
That
be
may
part
be
of the
the
reason
issue.
for some of her hostility. That might be some of the issues.
But even with that
But-
said, evidently,
Yes.
if it was an outside child, you
Yes.
stayed.
She stayed,
Oh,
yeah.
we getting gang signs.
I wouldn't even let my child go over her house, her acting like that. I'm like, you have to
Right.
come see our baby at the park. Because that woman
Yes.
crazy.
I mean, she
Yeah.
was going.
Mm.
It was just too much for us to play the clip. Y'all know we play clips sometimes. We wouldn't have been able to play that clip, child, because she was
I'd have
performing.
said
It was
play it.
Wow.
she was acting up. But yeah, y'all, we look get the baby some shoes. Like y'all said, I mean, anything. Even if you want to say, I'll just go and buy, instead of giving you the money, any more
Right.
money, I'll buy the shoes.
I'll buy the shoes. Right.
Yeah.
Listen, baby mama, if you out there watching our show, be specific. Reach out to one of us at Victorious Living Faith Ministries, and we will
Gotcha.
make sure your baby got shoes.
Hmm.
Am I right, y'all?
Or
Absolutely.
contact that baby grandmother. She gonna make sure her
She gonna
grandbaby
make
got
sure
shoes.
that baby got shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! That's how you close out the night, Key. That's you close
Absolutely.
out the night.
Yes.
All right, so we have a new segment to close out show. We want to make sure that supporters of the show can keep connected with us while we are out and about in the community. We also want to show support to those who we are connected to. And so we want to remind everybody that VLF, Victorious Living Faith Ministries, which you guys know that we are a part of. We ride under the umbrella of Victorious Living Faith Ministries and our very fine pastor, Reverend Philip A. Miller Sr. We want to make sure everybody know that there's a Thanksgiving giveaway on Saturday, November the 12th from 12 to 2 p.m. in the parking lot of Victorious Living Faith. The address is 435 Merlin Avenue. We are right across the street from the post office. Amen. Right in that little section down there in Essex. And the zip code is Essex, Maryland 21221. There's all kinds of things that's going to be given away. We have some vendors with coats. There's some shoes. Amen. Hats, gloves, things of that nature. We want to make sure that our family members, who need a little extra help getting, connected in their finances or whatever, their needs can still be met. Toiletries and things of that nature. There's also going to be some health maintenance people there that are going to, be participating, as well as I believe there's someone that is going to have the COVID-19 test kits or what have you. So you want to make sure that you come on down and support. If you have questions, concerns, or if you just want to, come and just help, come right on down. No questions asked. You do not have to be a member of VLF. Okay? Then we want you to also remember love the hopeful. Love the hopeful is we don't call the homeless homeless. We call them our hopeful family, our hopeful community, because they have so much faith, they have so much hope, and they believe. And so we want to be a blessing to them. They are under Falls Way, under the bridge, downtown. It is from 8 a.m. It starts at 8 a.m. and it only usually lasts maybe about 2 hours. Okay, so you want to come on out and be a blessing. Every little bit helps. And you can make a donation. You can bring forth your donations, whether it's body wash, feminine products, deodorant, shampoo, lotion. This time of year, they need coats. They absolutely need coats. VLF is doing pastors has issued his 100 blanket challenge. So they need blankets. Come on, y'all. Let's purge our closets. Somebody done gave you multiple blankets over the past year. You can give up one. Your blanket doesn't have to be new. It can be, as long as it's clean. Please make sure that they're clean and in good condition. Be a blessing to somebody else. Amen. And so we just want you guys to just come on out and do whatever you can, because the Bible says that we take care of one another. And so that's what Victorious Living Faith does. And so that is it for tonight's show. And absolutely Sunday, 9 a.m. Well, praise and worship starts at 8:45, but at 9 a.m. service starts. It is Communion Sunday. Come on down and partake in the Lord's Supper and hear an awesome word from our wonderful pastor. And so that's the close of our show. You have anything else tonight, Key?
Nope. I'm good. I ain't say it's been a long week this time. Because it hasn't been too bad. It hasn't
No,
been too bad.
man. You just ain't say it. From what your text messages say, it's been a long week at your house.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know how I forgot.
It's been a long week at your house. Listen, every time I read a text message, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Ooh.
Yes, the Nobles have been busy this week. Well, Mama Noble has been
Mama
busy
Noble,
this week.
yeah. And make sure everybody take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. We
Marriage
are,
ministry.
oh, thank you. We are in the middle of flu season. RSV is running rampant in our children, and still COVID-19 is out there. So make sure you take care of yourself. Get your vitamins. Look out for yourself, because you can't take care of nobody else if you don't take care of yourself. Also, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., marriage ministry at Victorious Living Faith. You do not have to be a member to come and just share in what God wants for our marriages and to encourage somebody else's marriage, and maybe even get a little bit of help for your own marriage. Amen. And so all you have to be is married or engaged with a date. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. All right. So that is our show for tonight. Y'all have an awesome and an amazing evening, and love yourself. Be good to each other. God bless.
God bless.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, sunshine.